Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Elistar Valgaros, and it is my great honor to welcome you to the region of Endroth. This is going to be the second long-running campaign in the story of my world of Apinox, set in the same world, almost at the same time as my previous campaign of Luavara. Endroth is the region based on progress and innovation in the pursuit of alchemical discovery. Currently, the region is facing a constant threat through a parasitic invasion, and the alchemical guild Genesis created a self-aware hive mind-like virus that is infecting intelligent creatures and corrupting the land. There have been many attempts to quell the parasite, but it wasn't until now, after the death of the Genesis Council member Nicklin Markley passed away, our story begins with the individuals whose lives are going to change after walking into the Adventurers Guild one day. Isidoro Ravenstar, born to Vorel and Illyrian Ravenstar, was showered in luxury due to his parents being wealthy merchants. He received formal training to fight after hearing about the outbreak in Berevgrad, and got into a street brawl. Falling in love with combat, his reckless lifestyle led him to eventually meet an adventurer known as Camaign, a rogue adventurer who opened his eyes to the recklessness of his nature. Now he wanders Endroth, doing as he pleases, with the responsibility of the Adventurers Guild weighing on his shoulders. Ostrosis was born the runt of a litter of 7 and was quickly assaulted by sickness. His mother took him to the village healer while his grandmother looked after the other 6 pups. While getting his treatment, his siblings and grandmother would perish due to a predator attack. And not a year later, Ostrosis would lose his parents to an attack from a parasite, being taken in by his grandfather, Stephanos Pontiki, would teach Ostrosis the ways of the pikemen in hopes of providing a means to defend and support himself. Once he was ready, he signed to the Adventurers Guild to use his skills to help those in need. Florentia Nimrith was born to a human father and an elven mother who mysteriously left her on the doorstep of an orphanage in Mythtide. By age 15, she began working for a wealthy merchant family named the Rikers. By 17, her sorceress bloodline awoken, and she quickly trained to control her new abilities. Now, age 25, after saving enough money, she signed to the Adventurers Guild to search for answers regarding her remaining, if any at all, family and what happened to them. Hazama was also born to a family of wealthy merchants, selling ingredients like poisons to alchemists and used goods to adventurers. He and his brother Azir eventually inherited the family business after their parents passed away from an old age. Things were fine, until a deal with some shady individuals went south and ended up killing Azir. Hazama now travels Endroth with his brother's journal in hand in hopes to find his brother's secret family in Pondfall and return the possession to his family. Sequoia was born deep within the forest of Rowanthoro, where legend says to have roots that touch the very core of the world. Her connection with nature, animals, and the flow of life is what shaped her during her upbringing. With the forest as her heartbeat, Sequoia felt a disturbance in nature one day. And with permission of her elders and an enchanted piece of bark from her grove, she left in order to search for a solution of the blight and learn all about this mysterious outside world. Vanya Vidalia was raised by the 2 sisters since her parents died at a young age. Once her disease was discovered, the harassment from the village was too much for her and her family. Not wanting to be a burden, she left the village and wandered. and she was eventually picked up by the Limontou family and made into a family maid. While working for them, she met the Dull Cave mercenaries who taught her how to wield a weapon, and after befriending them, it promised to help find a cure for her disease. However, after they left and she turned them down to join them on their adventures, she received a letter explaining that her friend's demise in the Plaguelands. She heard her calling to become an adventurer, to complete her friend's mission, and never let fear hold her back again. Calvin is the forgotten human alchemist of the Markley family. He lived his life alone, drowning himself in his studies under the guidance of his grandfather, Nicklin Markley. With both parents deceased, his grandfather and grandmother were left to raise him. Once his grandfather died, he decided to begin traveling. Not being skilled in combat, he needed to hire adventurers to help him. Now, currently stuck in Eaglefront, he is in need to leave and answer a calling, a gathering of the Markley family for his grandfather's will. However, he needs an escort. We have quite the group of adventurers to oversee this part of the world, and I'm thoroughly excited to see how it goes. Of course, if you guys want to witness the grandeur adventure of these heroes in training, upbringing, you could, of course, watch over on my YouTube page, or you can also watch me over on Twitch, Thursday nights at 7:30 Eastern. This is going to be a weekly campaign, and as I said, a long-running campaign. VODs will, of course, be posted on my YouTube, so in case if you can't make it one night, you can always catch up and watch them over on my YouTube. A playlist has already been created, and I cannot wait to see what kind of shenanigans this group gets into. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like, and I hope to see you all in Endroth.